So that was an adventure. I got up this morning knowing I did not have a ticket to Sagrada Familia, hoping I could score one when I got there at the church. And I walked the whole way. It was 40 minutes to walk there. And they do have e-bikes, and I'm going to drink my fizzy drink that I don't like so much because I thought it was just fruit juice. It's Producto de Brazil, Guarana Pop. Not really what I was looking for in life. About 8:39, I got up and went out to the church, Sagrada Familia. I didn't realize, like, I knew, like, yesterday that I should have bought a ticket, but I didn't know this, like, 6-8 months ago when I decided to come to Spain, that I needed a ticket to the Sagrada Familia, like, 6 months in advance or some shit like that. It used to be you just walked up and paid some money and got in, and you could look through the fence and see everything if you wanted to. I mean, not everything, but a bunch of it was visible through the fence. Well, in the 25, 30 years it's been since I've been here, they've changed everything. They put up a fence you can barely see through, and it's full of people, like crazy amounts of people, which I also don't remember crazy amounts of people being at the Sagrada Familia. I mean, I'm sure there were people, but not like this. This was crazy. And everything's timed to get in, and I didn't get a ticket. So I thought, well, maybe I'll just go up and maybe they sell some at the gate, you know, like rock concerts. And no, I get up there and there's signs everywhere. Solamente, with the QR code saying only via online. So that was that. And then, so I walked all around it and took pictures and video, which I'll upload. But right now my phone is literally at 5% because I wasn't smart enough to take my charge bank with me. So I was like, oh, I'll be fine. Well, not realizing how much juice the maps take up. That is the one thing. It's very funny about having a phone with maps in. I look like everybody else now. I don't look like a tourist. Only people look like tourist people wear fucking bucket hats, right? And, I mean, if you look like you don't belong, but I blend, so everybody keeps talking to me in Spanish, and I'm like, no, no habla. But, so nobody's walking around Lonely Planet books, or, I forget what the other brand was, Rick Steves books. Like, there's no books anymore, which also means that when my phone goes, there's no way I can get back to my hotel, and I don't know where the hell I'm going. So I know apparently Barcelona has a lot of bike infrastructure, and they do, but I don't know it well enough. And when I bring up Google Maps doesn't include it. You get a big pop-up saying, oh, whoopsie, sorry, we don't do bike lane information for Spain or for here or whatever. So there's all these like bike shares all over the place. There's a couple companies. I saw one called Donkey. Like, really? That's a stupid name. And then there's Bolt, and there's another one. I forget what the other one's called. Oh, Donkey's the non-e-bike. That's the regular bike. And I was going to park. So I decided after Sagrada Familia I was going to go to Parkwell. So I walked the whole way to Sagrada Familia because I wasn't familiar enough with the bikes to even try. And so I walked the whole way there. And I went in a different entrance. When I got there, I didn't even know there was an entrance. Like, I swear the last time I was there, you just walked up to Parkwell and walked in. Like, I don't recall any people, like, lines you could buy tickets. So I get there and there's like people showing their phones with tickets. I'm like, the fuck, when do we start doing this? Oh my God. So I'm like, well, I'm already here and I'm never going to see anything. And I was at the wrong entrance. I had followed, after Sagrada Familia, I got a bike. I was like, well, I'm going to rent an e-bike and see if I can do this. And I e-biked my way to the edge of where I'm allowed to ride a rental bike, which is still a significant distance away from Park Güell. And my plan was then to come back down and hit all the other Gaudi buildings on my way back. And that was a fail, and I'll tell you why. So I get on the bike, and I just keep going uphill. And I found a bike lane, and I get in it, and I keep going up. And I had to keep looking at my phone and put my phone away because the bike rental, which I was on a Bolt bike, and I had to pay through PayPal. The first one I go down, I couldn't get the seat to go down. I didn't even know how to do it. So I stopped the rental. I was like, well, this is stupid. I can't ride it in the seats 8 miles high. But there were 3 there. And the one that had the most juice on it, the one e-bike that had the most juice on it, was, of course, the seat was 8 miles high, and I could not figure out how to get it down. So the next 2, I finally looked, and I played. One had the seat that was partially down. So I played with it and realized, it wants to come up fully. All I have to do is push it down. So I put my weight on it, pushed it down. Like, okay, I did that one. So I went back to the one that had 50% battery, and I went to push the seat down. The seat wouldn't go anywhere. So the seat's broken, but up fully. No, so I was like, fuck this. Okay, I'll take the one of the other 2. One is 20%. I'm not going, it had 18 kilometers on it. I'm not going 18 kilometers. I'm just going to go 2 kilometers. And then I have to ditch it and then walk the rest of the way because, we can't ride a bike to Park Güell. But when you see how many fucking taxis are at the gate, you're just like, fucking car-centric culture again. So I rode it to the nearest. You have to park them at a specific space, but they're not marked. Only in the app, which I can't see because the app, the app is on my phone, in my purse, because there's no place on the damn e-bike to keep my phone out so I can look at my phone and ride confidently. I have to stop and pull over repeatedly, and my feet hurt because I had to keep putting my foot down and kicking the pedal over with my feet so I could get a start because the pedal assist doesn't start till you turn the pedals at least once. And I'm right foot dominant, and I've been riding a coaster brake. So when I come to a stop, my right pedal is in stop position all the time, and I need to roll it to the front, and I need to do that with unless I learn to start with my left, which may be what I'm going to have to start doing. I'm used to my throttle at home. I have a throttle on my own bike at home, and every time I went for the throttle, I rang the bell on this bike. I'm sure everybody was so annoyed with me. First one to get sounds like a fucking rattle trap. Made all this noise. And you could hear me coming a mile away. Like, everybody knew I was coming. All the way down the street. I have no idea what the fucking biggest problem was, but I got where I was going, and that was great. And I don't even know how much it cost me. Probably would have been cheaper to hire a limousine because it was per minute. I think €0.25 per minute. And because I keep stopping and looking at my phone to see where I was going, So anyway, I find a place, ditch the bike, walk the rest of the way up the hill, and I apparently went in a different entrance. I think the viaduct entrance, which I don't think I've ever seen as part of the park before. It's the not pretty part. It's interesting, but it's not colorful at all. So I went there and realized I didn't have a ticket. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And we're sold out. Of course, I go find them online as I'm staying there with everybody else. Oh, the tickets are sold out. I'm like, are you goddamn kidding me? So I try again, and I'm scan to see, okay, I only need an individual ticket. What else is available? Oh, but you can take a group tour for €22, but if you want to get in the park, it's 10. Okay, I'll take a group tour, $22. Somebody can tell me about the fucking park. And it's gonna leave in 15 minutes. And they didn't offer English, Catalan, and what was the other? French. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have to understand the language. I just need to get in this fucking park. So I bought my €22 Catalan group tour ticket and purchased it, got my QR code, went right to the guy. And I was like, I know it was 15 minutes early. You know what? I just did not give one shit. After the Sagrada Familia bullshit, you know what? Here, I want in this fucking park. So show him my QR code. He goes, you're with a group. I said, I don't even speak Catalan. I just want to get into the park. Can I just get in? I paid 22 euros. Can I get in? I don't even understand any of the languages. He's like, oh, well, yeah, sure, that's fine. If you want to know something, you can just stand over. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I want in your stupid fucking park. The park that's for everybody. Only everybody's can go to that park, or the people who can afford to go to the park, and the people who can get the tickets in time. Your fucking park. So I hiked the whole way up to where I had no idea where I was going, because my phone was now at like 50%. I was like, shit, I don't know where I'm going in the fucking park. Just keep going up. I know there's a really place where all the colorful tile work, it's in there somewhere. I was there once. I know it where it's out there somewhere. So I keep walking and walking and walking and walking. I walk the whole way up to the top. And it's just the viaduct part. It's just like the natural stone. It's pretty and it's interesting, but it's not pretty. It's not colorful. So I go up there and looking around, take some photos. As I'm walking up, there's a band off to the side, but they're taking a break. I'm like, shit, they looked good. The next turn I make off the pathway are some dudes singing Creep by Radiohead. I'm in Barcelona. I'm in Parkwell. Like, there should be a law against Radiohead. And then he said fucking all the way through it. I'm a fucking loser, whatever the stupid lyrics go. He's like swearing. And then I just was, it was infuriating. I come to Barcelona, at least I don't have to hear pan flute. But Radiohead's like the moral equivalent of pan flute. So I walked around a park, and I'm like, okay, not leaving without seeing the pretty part. Where is it? And started walking back down and noticed there was some pathway I hadn't been on, and people were all going that way. So I just followed them. I mean, it was just solid with people up there, solid. And I get to the pretty part where all the tile work is, and it's the guards entrance, and realize I totally missed it the way I came up from dropping off the bike and everything. And I get in there, and it is just wall to wall people. Like, I was here in May of 1998, I do believe, or 97, I think, one of those 2 years. And it was not like this, literally no. I mean, we weren't here super early in May either. I just think tourism is just crazy. So it was just solid with people. And we're all waiting in line to take a picture off the edge of the park. And it's just people standing there. And I was just getting pissed. And I said out loud, like mumbled under my breath, like, dude took a picture and just staring. And I'm like, move on. Like, do you see? There's 8,000 of us in here. Move. Take your picture, move, and stare at your photo. Enjoy it that way. Like, we're all, I'm almost to the point that I don't want to do this anymore. This is getting absurd. I had an easier time at the rock concert than I did here at the park. And whatever. So I took my pictures, came down. It's me and 8,000 people on vacation with me. It's fantastic. So I left, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my phone. I had 17% battery left. I'm like, I got to figure out how to get down here, and I have to find my way back to a Bolt bike, because it was going to be an hour and 10-minute walk to my hotel and to where my chargers are. My electricity is. I'm like, so I walked down, and I had to keep the Bolt app open so I could find where the next bike was, because I was in the red zone. Because God help us, only 10,000 shitty ass cabs laying on their horns are allowed to get to the park entrance. But no e-bikes. Can't have fucking e-bikes silently riding up there, because that might ruin somebody's view of cabs up there. fuck, car-centric culture. Yeah, furious. So I went, finally found 3 Bolt bikes because I'm like, oh, I ran into other bike racks, but I don't have their app, and I didn't have enough juice to upload an app at the time. I mean, I had enough service. I mean, I have great 5G service here in Barcelona. It's fantastic, but I don't have any battery life. So I need to go to the Bolt, and that's where I gotta keep walking. So I find 3 Bolt bikes, 3 of them. One of them has 47% battery life, looks nice and new. Fucking seat will not go down. I know how to do it now, and it won't go down. I'm like, fucking Bolt bikes and your fucking seats. At least I know now to do the seat first. It's not like bike rentals at home, like if you touch them, they go whoop, 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 and they make all kinds of noise because they're trying to steal them. These ones, you can fuck with them, it doesn't matter. So I fucked with it and couldn't get the seat down. But the one next to it, which only had 11% battery, the seat went down nice and easy. I'm like, okay, fine. So put the seat down, grabbed that one, this one, and took this one. And I had to keep my maps open because the Bolt app isn't very accurate about the mapping. Google's better with the map, but it gave me, I just followed it. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to wing it and go with the traffic. Traffic here isn't too terrible. People drive American aggressive, but I was desperate to get back, and I'm like, I do this at home all the time. But I know Pittsburgh drivers. I just don't, know Barcelona drivers. I'll figure it out. Fuck it. And I'm going downhill, so that's half the battle. And then I get on, and I realize I don't have any left-hand brakes, which I forget I don't even know what side that is. They're my noisy brakes at home. These ones, I had 0. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So I have no brakes on the left, but the brakes on the right work really well. It's like, fuck it. And I had this horrendous squeak every time I pedaled. It was terrible. Every time I turned the pedals over, I got this loud squeal. And I was like, well, they're going to hear me coming again. So I don't have to rely on the bell so much. And so I go. And one thing I was strict about here is like going the right way on the street. Even the other bike riders would yell at you. I had a quick, I was at the wrong intersection. I was not swinging out into traffic to turn left to go down again. I was already at an intersection. So I hung it and turned right, got in a small alley, which I know was one way, not my favor. Old man was like, I'm like, fuck you, tourista, whatever. I didn't give him the finger. I didn't do that. I just rolled my eyes. I was like, who cares? And I went down 1 block and turned just so I could reorient myself to my map because I was not doing a loop around the block. I am not in a car. Because fuck cars. They have to. I'm on a bike. Go around me. So I went that way, got reoriented correctly and was on the correct route, and then tried to pay attention to where I was going. But I was too worried about getting hit by cars or pedestrians because there are a lot of people out. And they don't jaywalk here a lot, but they do walk close to the curbs. And the bike lanes are usually in the curb, parking protected, or they're close to the sidewalk with no parking. And they look like little rubber croissants to keep cars from going, discourage cars from going into the bike lane. And the bike lanes are sometimes one direction, sometimes bi-direction, but seeing as they don't really employ a lot of paint around here, there's like multiple directions painted on the ground where they, I guess, thought it was going to go this way, but they decided to make it go both ways, and then both ways it was not, whatever. I couldn't tell which fucking direction I was going. Let somebody yell at me in Espanol. I don't give a shit. So I guess I was going right because nobody really yelled at me after that. So I kept going down. So I was like, okay, good, down. And I got to a point where the bike lane was down the middle of the street. I guess it probably been old trolley tracks a long time ago. And we had the middle with grass on either side of us, and traffic was going up and down. That was neat. I have a picture of that behind me, but you can't tell I'm on a bike. It looks like I'm just standing there. And other people on rental bikes around me, like bike shares. So I went the whole way down, and then I got lost because I come to this park circle, and my phone couldn't track where I was. And I really wanted to just ditch the bike because knew I was like running out of juice on my phone. I was running out of running up my bill, and I was going so long on the stupid bike because I had to keep stopping every so many blocks because I want to make sure I wasn't going to overshoot and end up in the fucking ocean or sea, the Mediterranean Sea. And I just kept going and going and going and going and going. Finally, I would stop, pull over, stop, go, stop, pull over. And I got to a point where I'm like, well, I have to turn right. And I turned, and my phone's like, just go down Las Ramblas. I'm like, that can't be right. So pull open the Bolt app because I haven't been looking at it because I want to get close to my hotel and then try to find a place by my little blue circle and park my bike on the little blue circle. And all of Las Ramblas is red. I'm like, whoa, how am I supposed to park the bike here? And all it's white is like the actual street. That's it. And in there are parkings, but I can't tell where anything is because the the tracking or the GPS is super inaccurate, and the Las Ramblas is full of people and eating establishments, and the restaurants have tables and tents up. You cannot see anything. It's like, oh, well, if you just park it by the metro station, I can't even find the sign for the metro. There's too much visual shit there to see anything. So that was frustrating. So I just kept riding down Las Ramblas, me and all the taxis and all the cars. And I decided, fuck it. I know my hotel is to the right or whatever when I was coming down. And I was wrong. It was actually to the left. But I was on that side. So I turned in and started riding down this little street. And I'm like, okay, good. It's a little narrow street. I'm going the right way on a bike. And it's supposed to be 10 miles an hour, 10 kilometers per hour. So nobody should overtake me. And I was fine for a while. And then I pull over, look up the Bolt app. I can't put the bike anywhere. Nowhere. I'm like, got to get back out of here. Waste more time. Go the other direction. Went back out. Finally parked the bike on Las Ramblas. Found a place to put it. And had to walk back, I think, a half mile from Las Ramblas to my hotel, or half kilometer, whatever, to here to plug the phone in. And I made it back. But I haven't seen any. I saw the Palau Güell building accidentally. I happened to be walking past it, stopped at the supermercado to buy some water, came out, I'm like, oh, look, there. Why are all these people standing around in the street? Oh, they're all trying to get into the Palau Güell. This is my third time in Barcelona, and I have yet to get inside any of these other buildings. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is wait for my phone to charge up and go hike around and see if I can find the other Gaudi buildings, which I might just like scan the pictures I have from like the 90s and say, here they are. I should have stayed in Murcia. Yeah, that was a nice little town. Completely walkable, not bikeable by any stretch. But anyway. And I saw like one of the hotels had, the fancier hotels, has live dance and music show of flamenco. Might try that tonight. I train out tomorrow at like, I think 1:30, somewhere around there. Go back to Madrid, one night in Madrid, and then fly home on Wednesday. So that's that. So I'm gonna upload this to YouTube because Facebook hates me or something, because I can't upload any videos to like Facebook that are this long. And I'll just put a link, but I won't be able to put it in my post either. So I'll post some of the videos and pictures I have from my walk around this morning. Got some cool shit to see. All right, bye.